Ladies and gentlemen, this is Hollywood Joe from Hollywood's World of Sports, coming to you with a special podcast tonight. As you all know, if you watched AEW Rampage on Friday night, you know that after 7 long years of being away from a pro wrestling ring, CM Punk finally made his return in his hometown of Chicago. And I want to share a little personal story with you because this whole thing's affected me deeply. I started becoming a fan of CM Punk back in 2002 when, the internet was still really kind of young in a lot of ways. And video streaming was just starting. And I remember a match that I saw of Punk's. It was an IWA-MidSouth. And the only reason I really watched the match wasn't even because of Punk at first. It was a triple threat match between CM Punk versus Eddie Guerrero versus Rey Mysterio. This was just prior to Eddie Guerrero coming back to WWE after his drug and alcohol problems, and Rey was just getting ready to debut in WWE. And I remember just watching this match and just being amazed by the talent of CM Punk and just how awesome it was that he was in there with two wrestling legends. Because, I mean, let's face it, by the time 2002 rolled around, to me, Eddie Guerrero and Rey Mysterio were already legends in the business. Obviously, their legendary status grew more after that, but then I discovered that on that same weekend, Punk had a one-on-one match with Eddie Guerrero, and I knew then that CM Punk was a special individual and was going to be a great pro wrestler. Like, he was already good, but he became great. And so I followed him through Ring of Honor, and he made a couple of appearances in NWA, TNA, and paid attention to his IWA stuff. And when he came to WWE, I was so excited. I was super excited that he came to WWE. I thought the ECW show was a perfect outlet for him. And, I remember one of the first big moments for me watching him in WWE is when he finally won the ECW championship from John Morrison, which him and Jomo did not have a very good series of matches prior to the match that Punk won the championship, but that for some reason that night they just clicked and had one of the best television matches that I remember. And CM Punk would go on to win Money in the Bank 2 years in a row and become a multi-time heavyweight champion, intercontinental champion, tag team champion. And I just loved what he did. I loved what he was doing. But, as many wrestling fans, we aren't given the backstage knowledge of what goes on in a wrestler's personal life. As much as the dirt sheets want to say they know everything, as much as these so-called journalists think they know everything, we really don't know what goes on in their head, in their heart, and in their private lives. And while I was enjoying what CM Punk was doing, he was not enjoying what he was doing. And I remember this like yesterday. January 26th, 2014. That was roughly 3.5 weeks prior to my third open heart surgery. And this is where, like I said, this is where it kind of deeply affects me, because I've always been a pro wrestling fan, and pro wrestling is like a second religion, and it's ingrained in me, and I'm passionate about it, and I love it. So January 26th, it was about 3 weeks or so before I had my third open heart surgery, and little did I know that would be the last time I would see CM Punk on TV until, well, not on TV, but in a pro wrestling ring, until 7 years later. And I gotta tell you, it crushed me at the time, because wrestling always fueled me and always gave me an outlet during the times that I've struggled. The bright side to that is, CM Punk and Cesaro were my two favorites from 2010 until Punk left, and obviously Cesaro was my number one favorite. So yeah, yes, CM Punk leaving did hurt, but it did open up the door even more for me to appreciate Cesaro and show him my gratitude and love for his work as a fan. Because like I said, they were 1A and 1B for me. And Cesaro's still one of my all-time favorites. CM Punk coming back, yes, I am happy. I never tear up in pro wrestling unless it's something sad, but I can tell you, when I watched Rampage, I teared up because I was happy. Cesaro's still my guy. I will always be a Cesaro fan. But having CM Punk back, it has made my heart as a pro wrestling fan, it's full again. It's full, and I'm just so happy that he has come back to, not only wrestle a lot of great talent in AEW, but also when he does decide to finally hang the boots up for good, he can do it on his own terms, on the way he wants to, and not because he feels like he has to escape a place that he didn't want to be at. And kind of funny is I held on to all my CM Punk merchandise from WWE for 2 years. And after 2 years, I finally got rid of it all because I knew he wasn't coming back. I just knew in my head and my heart he wasn't coming back. And I got to tell you, I'm chomping at the bit to open up my wallet and my bank account and start buying a couple of CM Punk things again, because I'm happy that he's back. I am thrilled that he found a place that he can be happy and successful in. He's going to have a lot of great matches against a lot of great up-and-coming young talent, as well as, hopefully have some matches with some veterans that maybe he faced in the past or didn't get to face during his 7-year absence. So, it's crazy time. Like I said, I'm just so super excited that he's back. Hearing Cult of Personality on a pro wrestling show again is just phenomenal. That was always one of my favorite songs, even before he came out with it. Just over the moon happy that he's back. I can't even begin to tell you just the emotion and the happiness I felt when I heard that music and see him come out of the tunnel tonight. I can't wait to All Out. I can't wait to see who he feuds with in the future. I'm sure I'm going to be talking a lot more AEW now. I've had reservations about AEW in the beginning, but they are starting to win me over, and that'll be another topic for another day. But for now, all I got to say is welcome back CM Punk. It is clobbering time. So with that being said, my name is Hollywood Joe from Hollywood's World of Sports, reminding you as always, controversy doesn't come without criticism.
Lights go off.
Hollywood Joe, don't you know?